In the heart of China's Hunan province, a 70-year-old Shaolin monk named Shi Yanming stands before a concrete block 3 inches thick. With a single focused strike of his palm, the concrete explodes into fragments. His hand, completely unharmed. Across the world in Tibet, monks sit meditating in temperatures that would kill most humans within hours, their bodies generating enough internal heat to melt snow in a 3-foot radius around them. These aren't movie stunts or internet hoaxes. They're documented phenomena that have forced scientists to completely reconsider what the human body is actually capable of. For over a millennium, monasteries have been laboratories of human potential, where monks have pushed the boundaries of strength, endurance, and physical capability to limits that modern science is only now beginning to understand. What they've discovered challenges everything we thought we knew about biology, consciousness, and the very nature of human limitation. The story begins in 1982, when Dr. Herbert Benson from Harvard Medical School became the first Western scientist to study Tibetan monks practicing what's called tummo meditation. What his team measured shouldn't have been possible. These monks, sitting in sub-freezing temperatures wearing nothing but thin cotton robes, were able to raise their body temperature by up to 17 degrees Fahrenheit through meditation alone. Their fingers and toes, which should have been suffering from frostbite, remained warm and fully functional. But temperature control was just the beginning. When researchers began examining Shaolin monks, they discovered bone density levels that were 300% higher than average humans. Their muscle fibers showed a unique composition, an unusual ratio of fast twitch to slow twitch fibers that shouldn't exist naturally. Most remarkably, brain scans revealed that during their training meditations, these monks were activating neural pathways that remain dormant in ordinary people. Dr. Sarah Lazar's groundbreaking research at Massachusetts General Hospital took this further. After scanning the brains of monks with decades of practice, she found that their cortical thickness in areas associated with pain processing, sensory input, and attention was dramatically increased. But here's what shocked the scientific community. When they tested newer monks, people who had been training for just 8 weeks, measurable changes in brain structure had already begun. The implications were staggering. If 8 weeks could produce visible changes, what were decades of training actually doing to the human body? The answer came from an unexpected source. Dr. Richard Davidson at the University of Wisconsin was studying gamma waves, high-frequency brain waves associated with heightened awareness and cognitive function. In ordinary people, gamma waves appear briefly during moments of intense focus. But when he measured the brain activity of Tibetan monks during meditation, the machines literally couldn't register the readings. The gamma wave activity was so intense, so sustained, that it was off the charts, levels 700 to 800 times higher than baseline. This wasn't just mental training affecting the mind. It was mental training fundamentally rewiring the entire nervous system. Dr. Jake Toole's recent research at Johns Hopkins revealed something even more extraordinary. He was studying how visualization affects muscle development when he decided to include a group of monks who practiced a specific form of meditation involving imagined physical training. The results defied biological logic. These monks showed actual increases in muscle mass and bone density from visualization alone, no physical exercise required. The scientific community was forced to confront an uncomfortable truth. Consciousness might have a direct, measurable impact on physical reality. But how? The answer lies in understanding what monks have known for centuries, that the mind and body aren't separate entities, but aspects of a single integrated system. Through specific breathing techniques, monks learn to consciously control their autonomic nervous system. They can slow their heart rate to near-death levels, then accelerate it beyond what should be survivable. They can redirect blood flow, control pain perception, and even influence their genetic expression in real time. Dr. Alyssa Eppel's research on telomeres, the protective caps on our DNA that determine cellular aging, revealed that monks with extensive meditation practice had telomeres typically found in people 15 to 20 years younger. Their bodies were literally aging slower than biological norms. Consider the case of Wim Hof, known as the Iceman, a Dutch man who learned techniques similar to Tibetan monks. Under laboratory conditions, he's run marathons in Arctic conditions wearing only shorts, controlled his immune response to injected toxins, and maintained his core body temperature while buried in ice for over an hour. When scientists injected him with endotoxins that should have made him violently ill, His immune system responded so powerfully that he showed virtually no symptoms. The most remarkable part? Hoff taught these techniques to volunteers with no previous experience. Within days, ordinary people were demonstrating abilities that medical science considered impossible. Dr. Antoine Lutz at the University of Lyon made another breakthrough discovery. When studying monks performing one-pointed concentration meditation, he found that their pain perception could be reduced by up to 64%. But this wasn't simple pain tolerance. Brain imaging showed that the pain signals were actually being blocked at the neurological level before they reached consciousness. These monks had learned to consciously control systems that most neuroscientists believed were completely involuntary. Recent studies have identified the biological mechanisms behind these seemingly supernatural abilities. Dr. Judson Brewer's research at Yale discovered that advanced meditators showed decreased activity in the default mode network, the part of the brain responsible for self-referential thinking and mental chatter. This neurological quieting allows for unprecedented access to normally unconscious physiological processes. Meanwhile, research by Dr. Wenk Sormaz revealed that specific meditation practices increase production of GABA, dopamine, and serotonin while simultaneously reducing cortisol and other stress hormones. The result is a neurochemical environment that promotes healing, strength development, and pain resistance. But perhaps the most intriguing discovery came from Dr. Davidson's latest research. He found that monks practicing loving-kindness meditation showed increased activity in brain areas associated with empathy and emotional processing, but also, surprisingly, in regions controlling motor function and physical coordination. The practice of cultivating compassion was literally enhancing physical capability. This suggests something profound, that the development of superhuman physical abilities might be inseparable from psychological and spiritual development. The latest frontier in this research involves studying monks who claim abilities that stretch credibility even further. In remote Tibetan monasteries, researchers have documented monks who can remain in meditative states for days without food or water, their metabolic rate slowed to levels that should result in death. Others demonstrate what appears to be enhanced sensory perception, detecting sounds, vibrations, and even electromagnetic fields that normal humans cannot perceive. Dr. Dean Radin's controversial research at the Institute of Noetic Sciences has measured monks affecting physical systems through intention alone, influencing random number generators, affecting the growth rate of plants, and even demonstrating measurable impacts on quantum mechanical systems. While these studies remain highly debated, the statistical significance of the results has forced even skeptical scientists to pay attention. The implications of this research extend far beyond monasteries. If consciousness can directly influence physical reality, if the mind can literally reshape the body through focused intention, then our understanding of human potential, medicine, and even physics itself may need to be completely reconsidered. Military applications are already being explored. The U.S. Army's research into warrior mindfulness draws directly from monastic techniques, seeking to enhance soldier performance, resilience, and recovery. Early results suggest that even simplified versions of these practices can significantly improve physical and mental capabilities under extreme stress. Medical researchers are investigating how these techniques might revolutionize treatment for chronic pain, autoimmune disorders, and even genetic conditions. If monks can consciously influence their genetic expression, the possibilities for therapeutic applications are virtually limitless. But with these discoveries come profound ethical questions. If superhuman abilities can be developed, who should have access to them? How do we prevent such techniques from being exploited or weaponized? And perhaps most importantly, what does it mean to be human if our limitations aren't as fixed as we believed? Some researchers argue that these abilities aren't supernatural at all. They're simply the full expression of human potential that most of us never access. Every person may possess the latent capability for extraordinary strength, endurance, and sensory perception. The monks haven't transcended humanity. They've shown us what humanity actually is when fully developed. The ancient texts speak of these abilities not as miracles, but as natural consequences of disciplined training. They describe a progression of development where physical, mental, and spiritual practices gradually unlock capabilities that seem impossible only because we've forgotten they exist. As we stand at the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern science, we face a choice. We can dismiss these phenomena as anomalies, curiosities that don't affect our understanding of human nature. or we can recognize them as evidence of potential that exists within every human being, potential that waits only for the proper conditions and training to emerge. The monks have spent centuries mapping the territories of human possibility. Their laboratories have been caves, mountains, and meditation halls. Their experiments have been conducted not on others, but on themselves, pushing the boundaries of what a human being can become through discipline, dedication, and an unwavering belief that limitations exist primarily in the mind. What they've discovered suggests that the difference between ordinary humans and those with superhuman abilities may not be genetics, divine intervention, or supernatural gifts. It may simply be knowing that such abilities are possible and having the determination to develop them. The question that remains is not whether these abilities exist. The scientific evidence is overwhelming. The question is whether we're ready to accept that the boundaries we've accepted as absolute may be nothing more than assumptions waiting to be transcended. In monasteries around the world, that transcendence happens every day. The only question is whether the rest of humanity is ready to follow where the monks have already gone. Perhaps the most remarkable discovery of all is this. The superhuman strength and endurance of monks isn't the result of abandoning their humanity, but of discovering what being human actually means when we stop accepting limitations as inevitable and start seeing them as invitations to grow beyond what we thought possible. The laboratory of human potential is open. The methods have been tested for over a millennium. The only question remaining is whether you're ready to discover what you're truly capable of becoming.